A
So
felony.
let's see. So let me see. Brian Walshe today. If you missed it, you didn't miss anything. All it was the guy that was on yesterday was on the stand all day. They ended at 1 o'clock today, so it wasn't a full day of court. And all was the cross from the defense, and it was ridiculous. It was to the point that I don't know what. They're just trying to put some reasonable doubt or whatever, and it's just, okay, well, 515, who's that from? And it just, you didn't miss anything. They didn't have, I'm waiting for some different witnesses, but so forget Brian Walshe. You didn't miss anything. It was just much ado about nothing. But Trinity Poague, they did the closing arguments, and so of course prosecution goes first, and they tell you that she did this to this baby, and this baby isn't around, and yeah, maybe the father needs to take parenting courses, but the father would love to take parenting courses, but there's no baby anymore because she killed the baby. And so he goes and does his whole spiel, and then the defense gets up, and the guy reminds me of one of the lawyers in the Murdaugh case. And it drives me nuts because I really think it's him, but I know it's not him. But he's saying that, he did everything to put reasonable doubt, saying that, can you say like they went to take a shower together and they left the 18-month-old? I don't even know what university would allow an 18-month-old and the father to stay in a dorm room where she had a room. Like, I'm telling you, if my daughter was ever rooming with a girl and she told me, oh yeah, this girl has her, what was he, like 22? He wasn't going to college, right? Her 22-year-old boyfriend and their 18-month-old baby, and they have an air mattress in our dorm room, and he spends the nights there and then uses the shower and everything, I would get her the heck out of that room. Okay? How the hell is that flying? The guy's using it as like part of an apartment. He's not paying a dime. What? And he's in there. The dorm rooms are not big. Why the heck would he be over there? Who would allow that? What were the RAs saying? That's okay? People said that the baby was waking up. It was crying. People were like, what kind of university is that? I've never heard of anything like that in my life. That is insane. And then you've got this other guy in the dorm room, a freshman dorm room. That is gross. It's not like, okay, he's somebody on the campus and he's there. He's like kind of like living there. They're bringing in an air mattress, chairs for the kid. I mean, that's not his apartment. The whole thing is insane. And you know what? Right then and there, like, if they didn't have that arrangement, I hate to say it, that child probably wouldn't be deceased because they wouldn't be able to do that. I've never heard of anything like that. That's nuts. But anyway, then the defense lawyer is saying, well, then they went to take a shower, and they went to take a shower together, so you know what they're doing in there. They're going to be gone for more than 5 minutes, so how do we know that little boy didn't do something? So now they're leaving an 18-month-old in the dorm room while they're going to take a shower together in a freshman dorm. What? I don't even understand that. But then he says, and then he got out first and he got dressed. So how do we know? Hey, Amy. Yeah, this is the new live. This is the new live. And I'm the new Jan Brady. No, this is the new live. Good to see you. So yeah, I don't understand that. Do you understand that, Jimmy?
What?
They allowed some freshman dorm, right, to have her boyfriend and his baby stay in her dorm room. They brought in chairs for the kid, an air mattress, and she had an 18-year-old roommate.
Who?
The girl that just got found guilty of killing this baby. How, that should not be allowed.
Tell me what they allow. Tell me.
Okay. 2 18-year-olds, freshmen, right?
Right.
In a dorm room together. Then the one moves her baby daddy into the dorm room. Like, I don't know how many nights he stays there, 3 nights a week, whatever. They got an air mattress, chairs for the baby. Dorm rooms aren't big. And then he's taking a shower with the girl in the dorms and spending the night when there's another 18-year-old girl there. You tell me that's okay, right?
Okay, well,
he doesn't go to college.
Were they really allowing it?
No, he doesn't go to college there.
Yeah, so were they allowing it, or did it just happen?
Well, how would that be allowed? That's crazy.
Well, maybe they didn't allow it. Maybe they just did it. You know, maybe you know.
I love your new hair. Thanks.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how. Then they're responsible too, probably. I mean, I don't know. They're not really responsible, but I mean, if you really want to look at it, where the hell were the RAs? Why didn't her roommate say something? I mean, that's gross. You have some kind of wacko man over there. How many times?
I mean, maybe maybe he didn't seem wacko. Maybe
Oh, come on.
Like
and they said that their baby was waking people up and is crying.
The
and
boys go, oh yeah, I mean,
come
I
on.
don't know how they allow it. I have no idea. That's crazy.
Shouldn't have been people that don't go
They
to college
should allow
there.
it.
No. So, yeah, it was crazy. So anyway, the whole situation was whacked. But anyway, so he did his best to try to put the reasonable doubt. He kept saying, you don't know, and you can't find her guilty because you don't know that that child didn't injure himself, and you don't know that his father didn't injure him while this, that, and the other thing. So he tried his best. Then the prosecution, of course, gets the rebuttal. And he went on to, like, point out how stupid that argument was, and just saying like, oh my gosh, how could you, and he just put these scenarios out there. It was getting too much. Anyway, the verdict came back, I think, in less than 3 hours. And she was so, you could just see her, she knew, like, she's like, oh my gosh, they found me guilty. And she had this biggest puss on her face, and she looks like somebody on YouTube. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But if you know, you won't be able to not see it. But she had the biggest puss on her face, and if looks could kill, boy, she should have been convicted of first-degree murder if looks could kill. But the judge got the verdict, and normally they give it to the court reporter to publish it, but he read it, and when he read the first one, which was first-degree murder, he said not guilty. And she's like, ha, ha, and then he's like, hold on. That's the only one that's not guilty. 2 through 6, they found you guilty. Well, number 2 is felony murder. So it's not like they just found her guilty of aggravated child abuse, right, or something. She was found guilty of murder. So then she went from like relief to having this puss on her face again. And then the judge says he wants to go straight through to the sentencing. So they were going to take a break. And then when they came back, it was like everybody in the chat was saying, like, this was crazy. They were saying, like, oh, well, do we take 6 out and do we run 2 with 6? And no, what if we... It was really bad. It made them all look really unprepared. It made the judge look like he didn't understand any of this. It was the most whacked out thing. And then finally, when they couldn't even get it straight, he said, do you want to take a 30-minute break? And we could see if we can get this. And so they took a 30-minute break. And then they came back and they started again with crap. And, what about the pizza? Want to put that somewhere?
I'll put it away.
Yeah. And so, let me see what the heck. So I thought I missed something. Because then I was watching it on like Law and Crime and it just ended. And I'm like, it just ended? Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't make sense that it just ended. And then Twisted said it ended for Twisted too. So how was that? I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, thanks, Denise. So let me see what she ended up getting, because my video ended, and every time I went to go back to it, it just, I don't know, and then I just got fed up with it, and I just read my Murdaugh book. Okay, let me see. Figured I'd do. Let me see. Sentence. Okay, hold on a minute.
Honey,
Yeah,
so that was the girl today that was sentenced, right?
yeah.
And what did we even
Well,
find out what her
that's what
sentence
I'm trying to find out right
was?
now.
That was crazy.
I know. It's
How we did
ridiculous.
that. I mean, even in the chat, like you said, people were saying, oh,
What's going on? They're making
Yeah.
themselves look really stupid. Okay, so she was sentenced less than an hour after a guilty verdict was reached. She was sentenced to life in prison.
Whoa.
See, she thought she was on the life in prison, plus 20 concurrent years for the murder of her boyfriend's 18-month-old son. Romeo Jackson Drew Angeles. So, let's see here. 2 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated battery, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the first degree. She was found not guilty on malice murder. It was malice murder, it was malice murder that she wasn't guilty on. Prosecutors say that she caused blunt force trauma to the head and torso inside a dorm room at Georgia Southwestern State University. I want to find out what the hell is going on at Georgia Southwestern State University, because there's something not right going on there, resulting in fatal brain and organ injuries. She previously told the child's father that the toddler had fallen off the bed, but she told her friend that she wanted to punch him in the face and she hated him. Yeah. Let's see. Around 9 a.m. Friday, the judge stated no reactions or outbursts would be allowed during closing arguments. Well, when they read that verdict, there were outbursts. And that anyone who causes disruption could be removed from the courtroom. He also informed the gallery that the doors would be locked during closing arguments with no in and out movement allowed. Jurors requested breaks, so they will take a short break every hour throughout the closing arguments. Family and supporters for the child's father, Julian J. Williams, filled their side of the courtroom, and family and friends behind Trinity appeared emotional as they began. And then during the initial closing arguments, the state focused on who was present with the child during that brief window when doctors say the fatal injuries occurred. Oh, they kept saying, like, well, why didn't anybody test the diaper? This is the defense again. Because that could have happened, somebody else could have done something. And they gave all these scenarios where people, when, it's just anything to put reasonable doubt instead of looking at, the obvious, right? Occam's razor, right? Okay. then, let's see, prosecution. The girl killed that little boy. She killed the little boy. She cracked his skull out of anger, out of malice. We'll talk about that later. She killed that little boy. The only person that could have possibly done this in the time frame in which it had to occur. Don't let these other things that don't have anything to do with the answer to that question, who killed J. DeAngelis? Don't let those other things cloud your vision and fog your brain. The defense argued that jurors must decide whether the state has met its obligation to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt, reminding them that it's their duty to hold prosecutors to every element of the charge and that if any reasonable doubt exists, they cannot convict Poague. You cannot discount the possibility that Mr. Williams could have been responsible. You cannot discount the possibility that an accident happened to the child while they were showering. You cannot discount the possibility that the fall from a 40-inch bed caused the injury to the child. All these are reasonable doubts. You cannot come back with a verdict otherwise, said Tim Gamble, Poague's defense attorney. Tim Gamble? No, that's not him. Okay, Poague is charged, let's see. And, yep, she was found guilty, so she got life in prison, which I'm sure she'll appeal, but I wonder if she'll be in the same place as Leilani Simon. You know? So crazy, these people that do this crap. Okay, so that was her. Now we know the deal with her. Hi, Slam. That's Trinity Madison Poague, the 18-year-old at Georgia Southwestern University, which, have you ever heard of anything like that, Slam? Would you allow your child, if my kid ever told me, I don't care whether they're a boy or a girl, if they ever told me that my roommate's moving their boyfriend, girlfriend in here that doesn't go to school here, that's coming in with an 18-month-old child, they're moving in stuff for the child, they're staying here, they're showering together, they're leaving the 18-month-old in the room, the 18-month-old is waking up in the middle of the night screaming, what is going on? Who in their right mind? That's like using that as his apartment. He doesn't go to school there. What kind of, I don't care, he's staying there 1 day a week, 2 days a week, he shouldn't be there at all. The baby? Come on. That's nuts. It's absolutely, and they're showering together in the freaking freshman dorm shower? Come on. That's just crazy. Ethan's college, there's RAs all over the place. They're like, they crack down on like, they don't let anybody bring a microwave in, okay? Let alone you're moving in a kid? Come on, air mattresses? That is nuts. Some weirdo guy staying over there? Come on. Yeah, I know she was no prize as a roommate either, not at all, but I'm saying, he shouldn't be over there either. When I say weirdo, I just mean somebody that doesn't belong there. I don't have any idea what, he was like, except he really picked the wrong partner to watch his child. That's very sad, because that child has no life anymore, and he died at 18 months. Okay, what are you leaving your child in the hands of this 18-year-old in a dorm room? And then he had alcohol in there. He's bringing alcohol, and he's getting drunk and going to, yeah, and I know kids drink at college. I'm not stupid, but this is somebody that doesn't go to that college, okay? These kids are 18. That guy was, I think, 22. Like, what is he doing? Come on. Doesn't go to the college, has a kid. They go take a shower together and leave the 18-month-old in the dorm room. That university should face some heat for that too. Why would they allow that? Why didn't they know about it? That's crazy. So anyway, yeah, that was that. So she's got life plus, right, 20 years, right? No, concurrent. Okay, so she got life. So anyway, yeah, I mean, what the heck would you say? You have a daughter in college. If she told you, Mom, my roommate just has it's not even her baby daddy, okay? Because she's not the mother of that baby. So she has her boyfriend who's on again, off again. Apparently they were fighting a lot. I'm leaving you. I'm not leaving you. This and that. You're bringing an 18-month-old in there. You're like, what? Air mattress. It's just insane. Oh, that's good, honey. Have you got an 18-month-old in there? Yeah. And she's got, yeah, that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. Glad we're paying for those dorms, and then she's making it like a flop house or something. What the heck? Yeah, come on in. Why don't we just take some random people off the street here now. We'll get some air mattresses and... Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, he's drunk? Oh, that's his rum? Okay. She doesn't drink the rum? Oh, he's knocked out? Okay. Gross. It's ridiculous. Really, I'd like to call someone over there and say, what the hell? I can't believe no one has mentioned anything about that. I've never heard of anything like that. Never in my life have I heard of anybody taking a baby into a dorm room, a toddler. How old was the boyfriend? 22. I believe he was 22, but he wasn't in college either, Super Chat. And he had an 18-month-old. And he was bringing alcohol in there. And he was drinking and air mattresses, chairs. So you can't do that. That's insane. I don't get it. And I can't believe no one said anything. That is beyond gross. They don't have co-ed showers. But you got this guy is going in the shower with her? That's gross. That's really gross. That's disgusting. What if... he shouldn't be in the shower, in the freshman female showers. He shouldn't be in there. This lawyer was acting like, it's just okay. I don't know. What a nightmare. And in the end of it, the baby is dead. Where was this baby's mother? Because the baby lived with the father and the sister. But why was he over at the dorm room? What was that? Why didn't he stay at the sisters? Why didn't he leave the baby at the sisters? He shouldn't be there at all either. Go get a hotel room. Exactly. Yeah, he could be a registered SO. You don't know what the heck he is. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's not like when they're seniors and they actually have like their own apartments, and then but then, even then you shouldn't be moving a baby in there. That's crazy. Yeah, maybe for wrongful death. I don't know, Jen. It's just, it's horrendous. I don't understand how no one said anything. That's just creepy. And he was a big guy. I don't know. That's just infuriating, the whole thing. Okay, so now, so I was right. Austin Lynch was indicted for, murder in the second degree in the death of Emily Lynch, and I'm going to give you some of what occurred there. And he's got another court date on December 8th. Now I've got the hiccups. They're great. Got myself all worked out with that. Okay. So, Consett, 18-year-old Austin Lynch was indicted for the murder in the second degree for allegedly shooting his ex-girlfriend Emily Finn of Sayville, Long Island. District Attorney Raymond A. Tierney said, and I quote, "This is a tragic case. Emily Finn should still be alive and back at college. Instead, the defendant allegedly robbed her of that experience and her future." The investigation revealed that on November 26th, the day before Thanksgiving, Emily Finn went to Lynch's home on Shenandoah Boulevard North in Consett. She wanted to have a face-to-face conversation with him about their breakup. They had been together for about roughly 3.5-year relationship. They were around 14 when they started dating. In the fall of 2025, Emily Finn began her freshman year of college at SUNY Oneonta, studying early childhood education with a minor in dance. Lynch remained on Long Island. He didn't turn 18 until the day after he shot her, but he had planned to go into the Marines. That's not happening anymore. So Emily broke up with him. And he was actually up there. They don't say this in here. I know this, but all right, I'll tell you what's here. She broke up with him, and he became obsessive. He called her and texted her nonstop to the point that she blocked his number. Then he called with another number, and he barraged her with social media messages. And the witnesses say that Austin was upset, he was angry, he couldn't take the breakup. He allegedly voiced multiple times that he was going to take his own life. Yeah, that's not what he did. On the morning of November 26th at approximately 9:50 a.m., and this is when Emily came home. She came home on Tuesday night with a friend. She stopped in a town right near me, and she stayed there. Her mother came up from Long Island and drove her home, and they were planning a nice Thanksgiving and things, and Emily thought that she could just get it through his head. She didn't want to be with him anymore, give him his stuff back. She thought she'd be able to do that. Okay, so that's what she went to do at 9:50 a.m. She arrived at his home. His parents were home. Allegedly, they were in the backyard. And when I think she saw that it was this futile or whatever it was, she went to leave, and he shot her in the back of the head with a shotgun that his family owned at point blank range. He killed her. She was, she died right at the scene. She was still clutching her car keys. Her purse was beside her. Her car was in their driveway. When he shot her and killed her, allegedly turned the gun on himself, but he wasn't successful in that. And when the gunshots were heard, his parents ran in the house. Apparently, the father placed a call to 911 where he allegedly reported that his son had shot his girlfriend, she was his ex-girlfriend, and himself. When paramedics and law enforcement arrived, Emily was deceased. Her car keys still in her hand, her purse beside her body. She had her coat on. She was leaving, but he ended her life. He was bleeding heavily from his face, taken to University of Stony Brook Hospital, where he was treated for facial fractures and a cranial leak, among other injuries. On December 4th, he was arraigned on the indictment before the Honorable Judge Philip Goglas for murder in the second degree, a Class A felony. So this was the fourth. See, that was conflicting. So it was Thursday. Okay, Thursday. I thought it was today, but it was Thursday. He was arraigned. Now, Judge Goglas ordered Lynch remanded without bail. He's due back in court on December 8th. That's Monday. He's facing 25 years to life in prison if convicted on the top count. He's being represented by William Wexler. Now, there's a little interesting stuff about William Wexler, whose father was a judge. And so they've got this William Wexler. So I'm sure this is no public defender. And we'll see what they're... I have a feeling what they're going to try to do, but I'm not going to even give them any ideas. The prosecutor is Dina Rizopoulos of the Homicide Bureau and Kerry Wasson of the Major Crime Bureau. The investigation was conducted by Detective Adam Keonis of the Suffolk County Police Department's Homicide Squad. So that's where that is right now. And let me just see something about this William Wexler, this attorney, because he's from North Babylon. Let me see here. There was something. Whatever did I? Apparently, I believe. Oh yeah, this is it. I think William Wexler. 7 years ago, let's see here, defended a judge or something that was, judge says he is a serial underwear stealer. This is for real. This is for real, guys, okay? Accused of breaking into the neighbor's home. And it says his attorney, William Wexler, said the judge was known for his great reputation and his wife is standing by him. That was March 31st of 2018. Yeah. So that was one of his other clients there. Let's see what else too. Who has he represented? Let's see. He was a Long Island judge. Yeah, listen to this one. East Islip, Long Island. This guy right here.
All right, so that's one pair of glasses.
Yep.
With.
Oh my gosh, these stupid ads. Hold on a second. What just happened to my thing here? Hold on. Shoot. Hold on. Okay. Let's go here. Where the heck is it? Okay, this is the one I was looking for. It's not letting me put his picture up there, but a New York judge was accused of breaking into a neighbor's home to steal her worn underpants. Pleaded not guilty, this is back in 2018, to a felony burglary charge. Richard Sakali, Suffolk County District Court judge, admitted he had broken into the woman's Long Island home several times and stolen underwear out of her dirty clothes hamper. The 23-year-old woman once worked as an intern for the judge when he was a town attorney. She was alone in the East Islip home Thursday when she heard a noise and saw a man running off. The woman called her mother, who then called 911. When officers arrived, they found the judge on the street carrying several pairs of the woman's soiled undergarments. Oh my gosh. The judge told investigators that he went into the house to take the panties again. It's unclear at the time why he would have been carrying underwear he had taken on a previous occasion. The judge, who generally hears misdemeanor cases in the county's district court, told the officers that he had taken the underwear during another break-in. This is very disturbing. In his confession, He noted he has urges to do this and engage in this behavior. Investigators are still trying to figure out how many times the judge broke into the woman's home. He admitted he had gone into the home unlawfully on a few other occasions. He was temporarily relieved of his judicial duties, and the matter was referred to the state's Court of Appeals to determine whether to suspend the judge. Let's see. A judge also issued a restraining order that prevents Sakali from contacting the victim as a condition of his bail. He will also be required to wear a GPS monitor. He was released after $25,000 bail was posted, and his attorney, William Wexler, who is also representing this Austin Lynch, says that the judge had a stellar reputation and that the judge's wife was standing by him. Every judge, every lawyer respects him, and we have to see how the process plays out, Wexler told reporters outside the courtroom. Okay. Wonderful. Let's see what else he have. Anything else he's done? Is that his? Wexler has represented most of the nations. And apparently, I think I went to his LinkedIn, and he's a comedian too. Well, there's a lot of material he could have had on that judge, right? Anyway, that's who the lawyer is. And so December 8th, which is Monday, let's see. See if there's oh, here's something else. Okay, listen to this now. Okay. He wrote a chilling manifesto on his phone after 18-year-old Emily Finn ended their 3-year high school relationship. I effing hate her. Disturbing new details came as Lynch, who survived a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the face, wore green scrubs and bandages over much of his face as he was arraigned on the second-degree murder charge. And Emily's mother was there. She wore Emily's favorite color, which is pink. And she needed to, of course, be supported there. She, poor thing. She probably wanted to see him. She probably wanted to wring his neck. Not that it would do any good. I don't know that she would want to do that, but I feel like I would want to do that, though I wouldn't waste my life on him. But he's... Imagine, I have no idea what she was feeling, but horrible. Assistant District Attorney Dina Rizopoulos said Lynch went from obsessive to downright scary after Finn left for SUNY Oneonta. and then dumped him 2 weeks. 2 weeks after. 2 weeks before his murder. 2 weeks before he murdered her. The victim's friend described the 2-week point during which the defendant shifted to anger. In a conversation the weekend before the murder, the defendant told this friend that he would be dead by Wednesday. Emily Finn was a bubbly freshman, talented ballet dancer. She was home for Thanksgiving break when she was confronted by Lynch. Both had graduated from Sayville High School in June. Things began to go sour when Finn left for school and Lynch stayed home to enlist in the Marine Corps. While Emily was away at school, the relationship began to break down. Multiple friends of the victim who also knew the defendant described the defendant as becoming possessive, accusatory, and overbearing. Lynch made at least 2 trips to see Finn at her school, most recently on Halloween. That's when Ethan met the guy, okay? With the pair bickering fiercely. Finally, Emily Finn had enough and broke it off by phone, blocking him. On November 21st, a tearful Lynch had a nasty spat on a late-night phone call, calling her a whore and other derogatory names. Tearful, he had a nasty spat with Emily, with he calling her a whore and other derogatory names. When she came home for Thanksgiving, that's when she thought she'd give him everything back, and that's it. But unfortunately, he thought he'd take her life too. It's just unbelievable. Outside, Lynch's parents were cleaning out their hot tub when they heard a gunshot, and they rushed in to find Emily Finn dead with a shotgun wound to her head and their son on the ground bleeding, and they called 911. Prosecutor said that he was on the ground bleeding from his face. A portion of his nose appeared to be missing. A shotgun was found on the kitchen island. And Emily Finn died clutching her car keys, coat on, trying to escape the house of horrors. Police found the killer's iPhone in his bedroom, where his deranged messages were found. Coroner's report determined that Emily died from a close contact wound at the base of her skull. More than 1,000 mourners packed the funeral home for her wake last week, many wearing pink, Emily's favorite color, to honor her memory. Suffolk County prosecutors have been waiting for Lynch to recover enough to be arraigned on murder charges in the cowardly slaying. In court Thursday, Emily's mother sobbed during the proceedings, sitting between her son and husband in a pink sweater. The killer was ordered held without bail. I have set my mind on leaving this place before my 18th birthday, he wrote in his chilling manifesto. Let's see where you guys are here. Trying to find you. Where the heck did you go? There you are. Okay. Part of his nose, yeah. Part of his nose is missing, Darla. Yeah, yep. Of course, yeah, she was sobbing. Wouldn't you be, you know? Megan Els, I don't know. I don't know why. I keep telling Ethan that I think the charges will be upgraded. I think they will. How could that be second degree? You know, how? That was totally premeditated. Yeah, see, Darla thinks so too. Let's see. What'd you say about that judge? He lived in East Islip. Oh, really? Yeah, he's stealing underwear. That's why the wife stood by. She didn't want to lose the house. No, Darla, I know about defense attorneys, but you have to admit, you know, that's why defense attorneys are just pretty much why attorneys, like all the stuff they say about attorneys is all referring usually to defense attorneys, right? Because they defend the utterly undefendable. But yeah, I understand that they have a job to do, but still, you know, still. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't. Have you seen a picture of him, Darla, in the arraignment? Why are they keeping that under wraps? See what this is. There's another one. Witnesses told investigators that Lynch was upset, angry, and voiced multiple times that he wanted to take his life. As Emily prepared to leave the house, Lynch took a family-owned shotgun and shot her in the back of the head at point-blank range. He's due back in court on December 8th. Is that when he's going to enter his plea? Let's see. Oh, he already did. He already pled not guilty. So what's he back on Monday for? County prosecutor said Austin Lynch had told a friend his desire to demonstrate how angry he was about the relationship ending. That's just a smug look on his face. see here. And then people are asking about, what about these parents? Are they going to be charged? You know, someone here says parents should be charged. Of the underage adult should be charged for access to firearms and manslaughter. Kid definitely planned this murder, someone said. Why did he have access to a gun? Were they locked up? His or dad's? Why so accessible to a teenager? So tragic. His parents should also be held accountable for having a shotgun in their home. They knew he was feeling heartbroken and depressed, according to the stories. The shotgun should have been locked up where he did not have any access. Yeah, see, now people are saying, yeah, no signs of domestic violence, sure. And that's what I was saying before, early on, when they were reporting this and saying, there was no red flags, there was no domestic violence, yeah? Yeah, wait till his texts come out. So what? Let me see here. So many fake news things, it's ridiculous. I see something. Shoot. Authorities claim to have found a truly chilling manifesto on his phone in the aftermath. And here it says, in the aftermath of the attack, a note which details how he effing hates her and reveals how he had set himself a dark deadline. I have set my mind on leaving this place before my 18th birthday. Their relationship had broken down after the victim went off to college, citing several of her friends who have described Lynch as possessive, accusatory, and overbearing after being left behind in Sayville to join the Marines. In a conversation the weekend before the murder, he told his friend that he would be dead by Wednesday. So there, he's premeditated. Come on. Despite setting himself the grim deadline, Lynch appeared in court this week to plead not guilty to a second-degree murder charge. Terrible. And then, let me see here. So what is his? Let me see. I wonder if, let me see something. Trying to see if they, I wanted to see what he's, with December 8th, right? December 8th. So where, let me see something here. Okay. So they don't mention, people mention it in the comments about charges for the parents. And I don't know why. Okay, let's see why this press release. Lynch is due back in court on December 8th. Okay, so I'll have to see what happens on the 8th. I just want to check one other thing before. Hold on one sec. Okay, I just want to see this because there's a lot of okay. So now see, and you know what happened? Okay, here's what happens then. Okay, so now he told this to a friend, right? The same kind of thing. But someone says, my question is, why did my friend not tell anyone of the boy's plan? Maybe he thought he was joking, but he should have told someone. So now they put like this guilt on someone else, right? And all these other people end up feeling guilty. All these other people end up feeling horrible. And, you know, here's this guy that did it. And someone said, no matter what I say, people will express their opinions. So he was going into the Marines. He obviously knew his way around guns. Did they evaluate him psychologically? Someone said, one is not in good mental health if they choose a route like this. Really? Yeah. It's certainly far from the Gabby Petito case, may she rest in peace, which I think is still fresh in everyone's mind. This is very different. Someone said, for the people surprised at the not guilty plea, if he pleads guilty, that means instant conviction, period. Not guilty gives a chance, even if slim, that a trial can convince someone he's not guilty or some piece of evidence can be produced resulting in enough doubt, or his lawyer will simply attempt a plea deal. It's a cowardly thing to do. He chose to shoot her. And his parents called the police and told them this. Like, come on already. It's bad enough he took a young life. Someone said he's guilty as hell, looking to get off on some technicality. Someone said, I can't even imagine the pain her family is going through. My deepest condolences to all her loved ones. And said, I feel so bad for both families. I can't imagine how heartbreaking it is to lose your daughter. Prayers for both families. Someone says, not guilty. Yeah, put him in a room with her parents, any parent, for 5 minutes. Parents of the underage adult should be charged for access to firearms and manslaughter. Kid definitely planned this murder. Why did this teen's parents let them have access to guns? Then someone else said they should be charged. Irresponsible, blood on their hands. This is all comments there. Maybe he got the gun on the outside. Maybe he stole the gun. No, it's the gun inside. Oh, his lawyers told him to plead not guilty. He will get out of this with the right lawyers if the family is rich. Just look at that smirk on his face. And he does. He does have a smirk on his face. It's not in the court, but he has a smirk on his face. He can do no wrong. He killed an innocent teen woman in her prime that will never see another day. Sad that because of a temporary feeling, he felt the need to end her life permanently. What in the world is wrong with lost young people? Says he's going to be found guilty. His lawyer likes high-profile cases and always loses them, and he drains the family's bank account. He really thinks he's not guilty? Why not? Coward couldn't go through with killing himself, though. Let's see. Okay, so let's just see one thing here. Where the heck is... I think they'll end up playing. I don't think he's gonna go to trial. Let me see here. I'm just trying to figure out what. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Let me go back to this. Find where you are. Is this it? Yeah. Obviously, there's many lessons to be learned. Let's see what it's saying. I've seen judges not accept a guilty plea at an initial arraignment. People's parents don't actually think these things are a possibility. Carla says there's no technicality, and we know nothing that's going on with him and his family and their attorney. It will come out. Yeah, a lot more will come out. Amy, it's Emily Finn is the girl you see there. Beautiful girl, so full of promise. As Ethan says, a really good person. She was a really, really good person. It's terrible. What do you mean, Megan Ellis? What do you mean about that? What do you mean about that? If he lives in a constant. Nothing. I mean, somebody that was as angry as he is, you're not telling me like you're the mother, you're the father, and then their father's posting like how close he is to his kids. They're working out every morning at 5 a.m. Someone that is that angry and holding, that much anger, and it's spilling out. How can you not see that in your kid? I have no idea how you can't see that in your kid. Especially if you're that close with them. This was like, it wasn't just like one night he did this. He was doing this day after day after day. Like he was just, because even when he was up there at Halloween, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Yeah, I know. Of course, the mother is devastated. That's her only daughter. Oh my gosh. Her mother came here to pick her up and drove all the way back with her. And, I'm sure they talked about this stuff. And I'm sure from what I have heard and everything, that Emily thought that she was going to be able to just I'll go over there and that's it, and then I'll get rid of everything and I'll have no ties, nothing, I'm gonna give back anything and just be done with it. It's terrible. Now, no matter which way you slice it, it's going to be ugly. No, I don't think. Of course, they didn't want this to happen, Darla. Of course not. No, of course, I'm sure they're devastated. Okay, I don't, that's not the plans they had for their son either, right? A life in prison. They had other aspirations. It's in one decision, he's destroyed so many lives, so many lives. Families, friends, of course Emily's life, he took that, He destroyed his own life. He's destroyed Emily's family's lives. He's destroyed his parents' lives. He destroyed his brother's life. He destroyed their friend. You know, like he's just coming through like a wrecking ball. All the people that have guilt about, oh gosh, you know, like whoever was told, the friends that were told this stuff, then now they're being told on social media, why didn't they tell anybody, right? Well, then you're talking to teenagers again who, you know, maybe thought, okay, he doesn't mean that, he's speaking in anger, whatever. But now people out there are putting that out there. So now those kids, you know, like, and my own son says, if I only knew some of this stuff, I would have told her not to go there. And I said, Ethan, you can't do that to yourself. You can't. Because a guy that's this nuts, a guy that's this deranged, would have found her anywhere. So it wouldn't even have mattered had she not gone home, had she, you know, they got an Airbnb and they stayed away. When she went back to college, he would have gone up there. He's already gone up there. Okay? And maybe that time he would have taken more lives. So, but it's not going to stop them from beating themselves up about it. That they could have done more, you know? I mean, I'm sure her own parents are going through everybody, her friends, everyone is going through it. And they probably they'll even if somebody tells them there's nothing they could do, it's not going to just end it. They're still going to think there's something they could have done. Yeah, it's terrible. You know, and he said, you know, he's going to take his own life. He's going to take his own life. Look what he ended up, right? He botched that up, but he took Emily's life. Sickening. And everybody wishes they could do something to change it. And that's sad. There's nothing you can do to change it. Yeah, we have told them all about that. It's terrible, and I feel bad for her best friend, you know, and Ethan's very good friend, and they're all suffering, you know, they're all suffering. Everybody. And Emily was a great friend to people now who just can't see themselves in the same place without her. It's a light. He took a light. She was bright light. And he took that light out for so many people. Yeah, I know, Darla. I've talked to him like all the time about it, and I'm thankful that he's got that lifelong friend, that just because she's going through stuff too, and I think they're there for each other, which is good. Out of, you know what I mean? But yeah, they both need to be talking to the counselors and everything. Yeah, it's a lot. No, it's not fair. Yeah, he feels like he wanted to protect her, and he, you know, could I have protected her? Could I, if I knew this, if I knew that, if I knew how bad it was, if I knew him. But see, like I keep saying, well, okay, let's just say you told her, don't go there. Don't go to the house. Do you think it was going to stop? It wasn't going to stop. And if she found out she was going with someone else, it would have been really bad. As obviously he had a, if I can't have her, nobody will thing. Yeah, I went to do something in her honor, yeah. Well, I think they are, the dance, I know the dance company up at the college is planning some stuff, and maybe they can do some kind of garden or some kind of memorial up there. I know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? But you do it. It's sick. And like Jimmy said, his parents didn't want this. It's easy to say, okay, but they obviously didn't think this was going to happen because they didn't want this. But, like if you look at his father's Facebook page, he's constantly posting about father-son workouts, this and that. So obviously, they didn't think that this would be a possibility. They take their kids shooting, so I guess they were feeling he knew how to handle a gun. Now, maybe they were locked up, and he knew where the key was, or the combination, or whatever it is. But I don't think for 1 minute that his parents thought this was going to happen and turned the other way and said, let's go clean the hot tub. No, I think this is the last thing they ever thought was going to happen. And they're suffering too, right? Their whole life has changed. Their whole life is changed completely. He destroyed so many lives. And his brother, like, it's just the whole family. Because how it is, even when, whatever, something happens, it may not even be something as serious as this, but, it affects the whole family. And you got the holidays, and now nobody's thinking about the holidays there. They're thinking about the lawyer and the money. And what's it going to do? Is it going to get him off? What's his future going to be? Is he going to have a future? What should he do? Like, that's going to eat you up. And then her poor family. That have to go through that. And that can last for years and years. It's just horrible. And the timing of it, no time is right, but I mean, this life can change just so on the drop of a dime. Exactly, Darla. You say, I'm sure his parents are feeling terribly guilty. Of course they are. Of course they are. Going over everything and probably hating themselves, and maybe they are negligent, and if so, they'll face consequences. One brother, Bucky, one brother. No, he's older, Darla. But by a few years. Oh. No, it doesn't work like that, yeah. It's terrible. It's like so much, and even like when like I was earlier thinking about something about we're gonna do that for the holiday or something, and then it's like you feel guilty because you're like, they're not thinking that they're just destroyed. That's why I'm saying, like, when they were saying, when this came out, and they're like, there's no signs of DV or any, I'm like, how can they say that? They don't even know what's in there. Yeah. No, they're not going to want to drag it out for sure. Especially because his parents, I think, have some kind of, I don't know if the father does anything else, but it's some kind of like a network marketing. I think it's that, what is it, Optiva or something, diet. So it's like their business is all about network marketing and getting out there and being social and posting on social media and all of that. So now that, it's like they're not going to want to do that if this is going on, and trying to save face. December 6th is the 16th anniversary of your best friend dying of an aneurysm. She was a perfect person, perfect husband, kids, great career. And reason for her death yet. I was so angry. Yeah, well, that's grief. You go through anger about that, Darla. My daughter lost a friend to something like that. She was a young mother and 2 little boys, and sorority sister of hers, and she had a medical condition. I believe it was an aneurysm as well. And died like that. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. That's hard. Yeah, I don't think, but I don't know. I don't think they'll have a trial. I think they'll probably work out some plea deal, maybe. Sorry, Bucky. Yeah. Yeah. It's terrible. And then there's like all the reminders, like if it sounds crazy, but like a lot of times, and it's weird, you buy things, right? You say, I'm going to put that away for Christmas for them. They're going to be so surprised for Christmas. And I've known because like things happened here in this town. 2 young kids lost their lives. They were called the best of the best in this small town. They were both sons of prominent families, and they left they got like a senior perk. They were able to leave the campus for lunch, and they got in the car, and it was one of their birthdays, and they were both killed. And I'm telling you, it just devastating. And when I went to the wake, father, who I'm still friends with today, he grabbed me and he told me, whatever you do, do everything you can for your kids, because he said, I thought I did everything for my kids always, and anything that I didn't is like haunting me. And so, and then the other father, he just like collapsed in my arms, but it was terrible. And but going back, like it was one of their birthdays, and I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, what if the mother said, you had all this stuff for their birthday that they never ended up getting, and it was something they really wanted or whatever. It's hard for me. It is. I always want to just give him something like then and enjoy it. Like Ethan wanted this this certain speaker for Christmas. And so my daughter got it for him. And it came like right after this. And he looked at me and he said, Mom, she got him this speaker right here. This JBL charge. So this is right after all this stuff is Thanksgiving, because my daughter ordered it immediately, okay? Because she always says, tell me what you want for Christmas. And he's like, I'd like this speaker. And she's like, okay, I already ordered it. And it came. And so he got the package, and then he said, Mom, can I just take this? He goes, you can wrap this, and I'll act all surprised. My daughter was here too. She was okay. I'll act all surprised. And I said, take it. If he's going to listen to some music and it's going to help him out, take it. That's what I mean. Like, why am I going to say, no, you can't have it, okay? I'm going to keep it in here, and I'm going to wrap it up and put it there, and you can't have that, when maybe listening to music on this is going to give you some, music can be very healing. And in fact, he told me that when their mutual friend, the one who Emily was, came down with, and her mother picked her up from there, when she called like inconsolable, and Ethan tells me, he's like, he was been crying, but he said as he was driving his truck to the friend's house, he said he felt Emily on the seat next to him. He could feel her presence. And he said, Mom, I talked to her because I could feel her there. And he said, then I turned on the radio, or he turned on the radio before, and this Deftones Entombed, he said it even had the E on it. And so I know how much the music, meant to him. And so, yeah, take it. It's like, because that's one thing with me. Like, even when the kids, like, I just don't know what holding on. And you might say, okay, well, you can't live your life like that and just give them everything ahead of time or whatever. But I don't know. I don't really buy things like way, way in advance and then like squirrel them away. Like maybe when they were real little, there were some toys or dolls, but my daughter ended up, I would always give them, like, if I bought them too far ahead of time, I ended up giving them to her. I mean, but yeah, I said, go ahead, take the speaker. And my daughter was the same way, take the speaker. What does it matter if it's now or, it could make a difference, right? It could make a difference. Maybe you'll go somewhere and just listen to some music. He does a lot of, he goes out into nature, and he tells me this all the time, and sometimes he just walks around or he sits down, like now it's freezing out there, but he'll just go to the gym and work out or something, and yeah. I just think, you gotta do it, but I like, who knows, like, that's the thing. she may have like something come into the house that she ordered, and there's all these little reminders. But her mother said she has seen signs too, so that's good. I hope she sees a lot of signs. But my brother-in-law, I've known my whole life, has been diagnosed with a rare and aggressive leukemia. Same as Tatiana Schlossberg. And I'm terrified. He is 55. And my sis and him have kids in college. Tatiana Schlossberg, is that Caroline Kennedy's daughter? Is that who that is? Is that who that is? I didn't know that. If that is Caroline Kennedy's daughter, I didn't know she has that. Usually, there's a lot of leukemia that's very treatable. You say that it's highly aggressive. Prayers that they can. I know people that have had. I think it was. I don't know if it was that same one, but there's always hope. Just have that hope and go to the best doctors they can. Make sure they give them hope. That means so much. Stem cell transplant. Yeah, well, go in positive that's going to help. And that's going to cure him. The prayers that he's cured from that. But is that who Tatiana Schlossberg is? Is that Caroline Kennedy's daughter? And prayers for your brother-in-law. Life's short. Have the piece of cake, have the ice cream if you want it. Yeah. I always think about just like people that sacrifice something, a calorie or something, and then they end up just getting killed and they didn't have what they wanted. Yeah. Please read essay. They found Tatiana's the day she delivered the baby. But is that who it is? I don't know. What did you say where the essay is? Let me see. Your friends and you go down to dinner to celebrate her, but no. You're down south and screwing everything up, so we are resuming. Oh. Let me see. Oh, I'm cold. Hold on, let me just check the fire. No, because I'm cold. Let me just check that there's wood on the fire. Hold on. I don't want the fire to go out. I'll be right there. caught it just in time, I hope. I hope. Hold on a minute, okay? I'm just gonna get, vehicles. Okay, I just wanna put on, oh, brother. Sorry, I'm just putting these pans away. And this stuff, and I just want to wash my hands and put on some tea water. And then I'll look up everything. Okay. Come on, baby. Oh, brother. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, let me look it up now. Let me see. Oh, it is the daughter of Caroline Kennedy. Wow, this just happened? Why is she saying when you are dying? Why is she saying that? I have a subscription to this. Why is, hold on a minute. Okay. Hold on a minute. Why is she says when you are dying? Her daughter was born in May of 2024. Okay. 10 minutes after she arrived at Columbia Presbyterian. And then they noticed that her blood cell count looked weird. Could be just something related to pregnancy, said the doctor, or it could be leukemia. And her husband's a doctor. He was a urology resident. A few hours later, they thought it was. Oh, and she also had a 2-year-old son. Oh, wow. She had acute myeloid leukemia with a rare mutation called inversion 3, mostly seen in older patients. They all asked her if she spent a lot of time at ground zero, but she didn't visit the site until years later, and she's not elderly. She just turned 34 back in 2024. Okay. Wow. She didn't feel sick. She regularly ran 5 to 10 miles in Central Park. She swam across the Hudson River to raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Wow. She looks like her mother. Then she had a postpartum hemorrhage. Wow. Let me see what happened. Then she had chemo, she had the transplant. Her sister was a match. Her brother was a half match. Then she had the transfusion. She went home after 50 days, and the transplant had put her into remission, but she had no immune system. Had to get all her childhood vaccines again, started a new round of chemo, and then she relapsed. The doctor said that the leukemia with her mutation liked to come back, but in January, I guess that would be of 2025, she joined a clinical trial of CAR T-cell therapy, immunotherapy. Let me see. Wow, poor kid. She went through a lot. Hold on. Let me see here. After the CAR-T treatment, she had a cytokine release syndrome. Storm of inflammation left her unable to breathe. Oh my gosh. She not, that is such a shame though, right? She had this right after her baby. She couldn't even enjoy her baby. All that, that stuff is so unfair. Let me see here. Then she went into remission again. And let's see. In early April, let me see. She did go back to the hospital for a second transplant. She had an unrelated donor. Let's see what happened. Oh no, she went into remission and she relapsed again. She joined another clinical trial. Oh my gosh. She's so thin and she's losing 20 pounds, 10 pounds. It's... Her leg muscles wasted and her arms seemed whittled into bone. The last clinical trial, her doctor told her that he could keep her alive for a year maybe. Oh my gosh. I hope this... She had said, I didn't really even get to take care of my daughter. I couldn't change her diaper or give her a bath or feed her, all because of risk of infection. Oh my gosh, so wait a minute. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. So she's... Oh my gosh, that's so sad. So that's it for her? That is so sad. Oh my gosh. That's horrible. Oh my gosh. I pray her path leads to answers for others. What happened? Yeah, she looks... Well, she's got some hair in the picture I see, but it's very short. And, oh my gosh. Well, let's hope she has a miracle. That is so sad. Wow. That is really sad. You know what? And there's like all the money in the world, right? All the money in the world, and they would do whatever they could. Oh my gosh, it is terrible. Does your brother-in-law have that mutation that she's talking about? Do you know? Because I think that's what makes hers extremely hard to treat, is that mutation. This tea is so hot. So she just announced this, Darla? She just, because it says on the article that it's like November, so she just announced this to everybody? To the public, I mean? Like it's just started writing about it, or? Terrible. Oh my gosh. Kennedys, right? They've been through like... I don't know. I hope that there's something they can do. Something that comes up. Oh, really, Darla? Oh, gosh. Goodness. Freezing. What happened? What's going on with this? So she's only like 36 now? Let me see. She said she was 34, 35. Wow. "2022, she looks so healthy, full of life on the boat." Her parents and her brother and sister have been raising her children, sitting in various hospital rooms almost every day for the last year and a half. Said her whole life she tried to be good, to be a good student, good sister, good daughter, to protect her mother and never make her upset or angry, and now she feels she added a new tragedy to their life, and there's nothing she can do to stop it. Wow. She talks about Seamus Heaney poems. The cure at Troy believe that a further shore is reachable from here. Believe in miracles and cures and healing wells. It's something called the gravel walk. So walk on air against your better judgment. Looks like somebody I know in this other picture. She looks so different than she. Oh, that's really sad. Okay, well, prayers for her that she has a miracle. Wow, that's really depressing. Well, okay. Whew. It's very depressing. Oh, yeah, the infections. Yeah, one day at a time. Sorry that he's going through that. It's terrible that anybody goes through that. Prayers that they all recover fully. It's a miracle. Okay, what time is it? Let's see if we can play the word game and kind of... Yeah, I'm going to go to bed too. I'm going to play the word game and try to... Good night, Bucky. Oh boy. Schemer. Oh, wow. That's good, Heart. Scheme. Oh, good one. Oh, you got them all there. Cream and creams. Okay. Nope. Not that one, though. Let's see. Yeah, me too, Darla. Oh. So sometimes when you want to do that, then you get there and you can't sleep. You just sit there, right? And you're like, oh, I gotta sleep. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I just can't wait to go to sleep. And then you end up watching the clock. None of mirror should be there, right? None of that. Oh my gosh. What the heck? No. C-E-R-E? Nope. Nope. Scree. I don't know. Herm, I think I tried that, didn't I? No. Didn't I do seer? They didn't have that? I thought I did seer a long time ago. Oh, hems and hems, right? That's good. I tried chem. It's not there. Mirror. And then, let's see. Mesh. Okay, that's good. I think we should go to bed. I think we all need to go take a rest and think about good things. I don't know. All right, everybody. God bless. Prayers. Love you all. Thank you for hanging. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Be well. Everybody be well. Prayers for everyone, because everyone needs them. Boy, they do. We all do. Love you guys. God bless.